Join me as I take on the challenge of choosing peace over conflict in everyday situations and see how it changes my perspective. In today's world, we're constantly faced with choices that can either lead to peace or conflict. And I want to talk about the significance of choosing peace over conflict. It's a choice that can have a profound impact on our relationships, our mental health, and our overall well-being. Conflict is all around us. We see it on social media, in our personal relationships, and even in our own minds. It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment and let our emotions take control. But I want to talk about those everyday scenarios where conflict arises. You know, like when someone cuts you off in traffic, or when a friend cancels plans at the last minute, or when a family member says something that rubs you the wrong way. These might seem like small things, but they can escalate into full-blown conflicts if we're not careful. When we're in the midst of conflict, our hearts start racing, our blood pressure rises, and our minds start racing with all the things we want to say or do. It's a stressful and draining experience, and it can leave us feeling angry, hurt, and frustrated. And the worst part is that conflict can damage our relationships and our mental health. When we're constantly in conflict mode, we start to feel like we're walking on eggshells, never knowing when the next explosion will happen. But what if we could change that? What if we could choose to respond differently in those situations? What if we could choose peace over conflict? It's not always easy, I know. But it's possible. And I want to explore that with you today. Let's talk about some strategies for fostering peace in our daily interactions. One of the most powerful tools we have is active listening. When someone is speaking, we often prepare our response instead of truly listening to what they're saying. But what if we took the time to really hear them out, to understand their perspective, and to acknowledge their feelings? That can totally shift the dynamic of the conversation. Another strategy is empathy. When we put ourselves in someone else's shoes, we start to see things from their perspective. We start to understand their fears, their desires, and their motivations. And that can help us respond in a more compassionate and understanding way. It's amazing how much conflict can be avoided when we take the time to truly understand each other. Let's not forget about self-reflection. When we take the time to examine our own thoughts, feelings, and motivations, we start to see where our own emotions are coming from. We start to understand why we respond in certain ways, and we can start to make changes. That's where the real growth happens. That's where we can start to choose peace over conflict. I want to share a personal story with you that really drives this point home. I used to be someone who would get defensive and reactive in conflicts. I would let my emotions take control, and I would often say things I regretted later. But one day, I had a conversation with someone who really helped me see things differently. They listened to me, they empathized with me, and they helped me understand their own perspective. And in that moment, something shifted inside of me. I realized that I didn't have to choose conflict. I could choose peace. From that day on, I made a conscious effort to respond differently in conflict situations. I took the time to listen, to empathize, and to reflect on my own emotions. And you know what? It changed everything. My relationships improved, my mental health improved, and I felt more at peace with myself and the world around me. Choosing peace over conflict is not about being weak or passive. It's about being strong and courageous. It's about being willing to take a step back, to breathe, and to respond in a way that honors our own values and principles. It's about being willing to grow and learn, even in the midst of conflict. In conclusion, choosing peace over conflict is a powerful choice that can have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of those around us. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. So I encourage you to take the challenge with me. Let's choose peace over conflict, and see how it changes our perspectives. Thanks for watching, and if you have any experiences or insights you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about conflict resolution strategies, be sure to check out my next video.